Now, I'm not saying that James Carville is a barely functioning with nothing left of value in this world. I'm not saying that at all. I'm also not saying it's pointless to tar and feather him because he still sheds his skin twice a year. And I'm also not saying if James Carville choked to death on one of his morning feedings of live mice, he wouldn't be missed. Wow, it sure is fun to not say things.
Greg Gutfeld pulled James Carville into the intellectual ring and turned the whole segment into a one-man demolition derby. With his trademark smirk and razor-edged sarcasm, Gutfeld sliced through Carville's old-school talking points like they'd been sitting on the shelf since the 90s. This wasn't a debate. It was a televised roast titled Why Grandpa's Hot Takes Don't Hit Like They Used to. Carville tried to keep up, but Gutfeld was already
Pumpkinhead just yet. Carville's like a parent who doesn't say anything about his rotten brat until it affects him and crashes his Mercedes. This problem's been here for years. It's done untold damage. It's caused a lot of death. And now he calls BS on it? Thanks, but you're showing up at last call. Let's not forget what else he said. He said that people that go to Trump rallies are pretty much brain-dead deplorables. He said some pretty awful things. If he could call them retarded, he would have. So his criticisms actually hit everyone, and it doesn't come from a place of common sense or common people. It comes from an elitist perch. He's not a man of the people. He's a man protecting a system that paid him well. On the whole, he would prefer to jail a Trump supporter who stole a podium over an Antifa creep who burns a business. So there you go.
Steps ahead, firing off punchlines faster than Carville could reload. What you just watched was the political equivalent of showing up to a laser show with a flashlight. Gutfeld didn't just respond to Carville. He dismantled him, piece by piece, with the precision of a cat slowly taking apart a toy just to see what's inside. Carville, once a feared Democratic strategist with a legendary Southern drawl, came in ready to spar. What he got instead was a harsh reminder. Trying to roast Gutfeld is like reading rap lyrics off a teleprompter. Awkward, uneven,
and hairless goblin. James Carville trash talked his fellow Dems in our video of the day. Roll it, Agatha.
We keep wondering why these young people aren't coming home to the Democrats. We say, oh, why blacks are not coming home to the Democrats? Because Democratic messaging is full of that's why.
Wow.
And talk about cost of living. And we're going to help deal with this. And don't talk about offering student loans.
Kennedy, that nice little old lady is making some sense.
Right.
She really is.
She's such a gentle lesbian.
and doomed from the start. Bill Clinton may have built the template for political spin, and Carville helped write the manual, but that was a lifetime ago. The problem is, no one seems to have told Carville that his frontline days ended decades back. Now he's broadcasting from the rocking chair of political nostalgia, still tossing out the same catchphrases he once made famous. He's busy dusting off relics like it's the economy, stupid, while the rest of the world has upgraded to 5G and is still buffering on dial-up. There he was, puffing.
Grandpa.
Carville looks like someone liberated him from a glass tank at Petco. Glad he's taking a break from hunting down Sigourney Weaver. But is he saying these people should be placed in pajamas, have their heads shaved, and march down Pennsylvania Avenue and spit on?
I'm not saying that these people should be placed in pajamas and have their heads shaved, march down Pennsylvania Avenue and spit on. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that did happen. And I'm saying that these people betrayed the French.
Up with retro swagger, firing off partisan one-liners that might have crushed in the 90s but now land with the gentle thud of grandpa jokes at Thanksgiving. You could practically hear the mothballs shake as Carville launched into yet another sermon about the radical right destroying democracy. Never mind that he couldn't define radical if it came with instructions and a filing fee. That's when Gutfeld stepped in, and Gutfeld doesn't debate what he sees as nonsense. He slow cooks it, seasons it with irony, and serves it with a smirk. He didn't treat it
like a therapist to the Democrats. Democrats are like a patient, and he's just tired of their constant whining without actually doing the work that a therapist would tell you.
Carville like a rival. He treated him like an exhibit in the Museum of Outdated Spin. From the moment it started, Gutfeld knew exactly what Carville represented. Red meat content for cable viewers who still believe political genius peaked with a sax solo on late-night TV. So Gutfeld did what he does best. He didn't bite, he owned the room. While Carville ranted about extremism, Gutfeld calmly fired back that the real extreme takes, in his view, come from people insisting men can get pregnant, claiming inflation is imaginary, or blaming Russian bots for
that there's like a Republican plan. What is wrong with that 10 or 15% of Democrats that everything that they say, this plant or whomever it is, it's progressive, it's not a Republican. Let's mutilate kids. Let's put men and women's locker rooms, and let's make sure that we have these drag shows for kids. And they're like, yay! It's their fault. It's stupid. And he's right.
Dana, did I hear Jessica say that we should doge electric?
Everything from elections to brunch. Watching the exchange felt like the 2025 version of shadowboxing a hurricane. The harder Carville swung, the wider Gutfeld grinned. Then Carville tried to pull rank. Gutfeld didn't flinch. He reminded everyone that longevity isn't the same as wisdom. Sometimes it's just age wrapped in old anecdotes. And those anecdotes don't land anymore. Especially when every story circles back to, that's why we need higher taxes. As Carville launched into yet another warning about misinformation, Gutfeld leaned back.
Carville's right, because, who's more likely, to get hit by lightning? Somebody who's sitting in their couch at home or somebody who goes out at night for a run. Anybody who actually takes action puts themselves at risk. And this is an administration that's always in action, always in play, a lot like you.
Yeah. Hard to see insight into, what Carville says. I don't know how he became the wise man of politics.
Back like someone listening to a toddler explain rocket science. Amused, calm, and completely unbothered. What worked in 1992 collapses in the TikTok era. People want truth delivered with timing, not fear packaged in VHS nostalgia. Carville came swinging with a slingshot of recycled outrage, tossing around words like racist and threat to democracy, as if they were confetti for an audience that stopped reacting years ago. Gutfeld countered with precision. Humor, clarity, a bit of logic, no shouting,